Hi, I've got to apologize in advance for the sound of my voice. I've had this really bad cold, so please bear with me. Back when I was in Manhattan, scuffling for a job, there's this one day that I got laid off and I was kind of wandering the streets because it was like I was in shock. I thought the job was more secure than that. So I was crossing 8th Avenue and all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, a cab comes by and hits me. It was like it came whizzing by, and before I knew it, it was right on top of me. Later on, people told me that I flew 30 feet in the air. The next thing I knew, I was on the street unconscious. People started to crowd around me, and your life does flash in front of your eyes. When I came to, the first thing that was on my mind was to prove to myself that I could get up. I got up and I brushed myself off. It's kind of like one of those superhuman reflexes where like the mother lifts up the car to get her child out from underneath. In the meantime, they called an ambulance and they took me to Bellevue Hospital. Now, Bellevue, you might have heard, used to be an insane asylum. So I was in the waiting room there for about 8 hours. Then they finally checked me into my room. My roommate was in bed with 2 broken legs. It's kind of like, what happened to you? He was telling me that he was in trouble with the police all the time. So the police ran him over with their car and broke both of his legs. And he was pretty much crying out in pain a lot. This continued through the night. So I gave him my pain pills because all I ended up having was a deeply bruised back. The next day, they let me out of the hospital, and I decided to take a little vacation and go to Florida so I could have some beach time and maybe I could look up some jobs over there. I rented this car. It was like a tank. I think it was $20 a day. I didn't bother with the insurance. So I was at the stoplight. I was kind of creeping forward, and all of a sudden I found myself in the middle of this 3-car collision. I was hit on both sides. It was a real scene. I couldn't believe it. I was looking for a witness, and the only witness I could find was this homeless person who lived under a bridge. Finally, we exchanged all of our papers, and as I was about to drive away, I noticed that the circus was in town because there was this parade of elephants on the side of the road, and they had all stopped to look at my car because my car was like an accordion. It was smashed up on 2 sides. They were all stopping and looking at my car as if to say, "What's wrong with this picture?" That's my bizarre experience. It all happened within a 2-week span. This whole series of events reminds me of an old joke. How many elephants fit into an uninsured rental car? None.